my phone with notifications and shit. Like, oh, blame NFL something like, bro, it's hitting immediately. It's an underutilized tool in what we're trying to do. FY, I mean, and fuck with it, just see. But if you ever get on Twitter, man, fuck with your boy. It's all good. If not, I've got an IG page. I'm just not over there.
Yo, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you good.
Okay, I don't know why.
Uh-oh, Sid.
Can you guys hear me? That's not a great start.
I don't know why I muted everything and you guys are still coming through. All right, we're just going to go live, bro. Guys, ready?
I'm in my zone.
Yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy Sid, and thank you for tuning in to Speak Your Mind all the time. Guys, I got special guests. I promise you guys today I got some special guests. I obviously got the Seattle fans in the building, but we'll get to them in a minute. You know, they got the W, so they can wait before they can talk, right? So we'll have them hold on. I want to choose a special guy in the building. My man, my guy, Nix from the Star Gang. Nix, let them know where to find you, man. I want to give you the first thing in the building.
Man, I appreciate the red carpet. I'm probably the elder statesman on this panel anyway, so respect your elders here a little bit. But with that being said, man, as it says on the bottom of my screen, if you're on Twitter, come follow me at your_guy_Nix. If you mess with the Cowboys, Star Gang is a group. Come join that. We'll get you in there. Also, like and follow the page as well. Mary Ella, Spoonie, those are my co-hosts. That's who I rock with. Follow them as well. A Star Game Beauty on Twitter. Also, Tim Spoonie 881 on Twitter. Man, in the building. You already know what it is.
Yeah, it's been a minute, Nix. Usually, me and Nix, we go back, man. We've done 6-hour streams, guys. So
the 6-hour crew. Where's my boy Jay Tut? The 6-hour crew.
The 6-hour crew, man. We've done it. So it's good to have you guys on the show. Steezy, we did something on Friday. We spoke about what was going to happen this Sunday, and I think we were both a little, hyped up and thinking our teams were going to get that W. Congratulations to the W. So, Steezy, welcome back. I'm going to let the fans know where to find you in a minute. But I want to join the new guys. Squabo, thanks again, man, for coming on the show. Squabo's also a Seattle fan. I think you and Steezy work together. So, Squabo, I'll let you have the red carpet next. Let the fans know where to find you. Let them know all your stuff. Facebook, Twitter, all that good stuff, man. Go ahead, Squabo. Squabo, we can't hear you, man. I don't know if you're muted.
Squab, you're muted. I see the iPhone.
You're muted, man.
My fault.
It's all good, man. A rookie move.
Hey,
It's all
I
good.
appreciate you, brother. It's my pleasure to be on the show. Thank you to my brother Steezy for introducing me to you guys. Super grateful for that. So I post Seattle Seahawks content primarily, but I talk all NFL as well as NBA and a little bit of MLB. So you can find all that at my YouTube channel at DJSQUABO on Instagram. It's the same handle, DJSQUABO. I also do a couple of shows, one every Saturday where we talk sports for 2 hours in the mornings. And then another one on KUGR, which is I go to Washington State University. We have a radio station here that I do a show on there as well. So that'll be on the KUGR YouTube channel. You can find that link on my page on YouTube at DJ Squabo.
Squab's in the building.
Yeah, Squab's in the building, bringing the heat, bringing big things, man. Definitely be sure to check this guy out. Definitely go sub up to his channel. Listen, us YouTubers, we do this for the fun and the love of it, man, and we'd love to have different subscribers on our channel. So definitely, anybody who's on my channel, definitely go check out Squab and subscribe to his channel, man. Steezy, thanks for waiting, man. Listen, we got to talk in a minute, but let the fans know where to find you, Steez, man.
Yes, sir. And before I even get into anything, I can't thank you guys enough for having us on the show. It's truly a pleasure being on. So thank you so much. Without further ado, y'all can find me on YouTube, Instagram at Steezy A. Smith. Just like Noah, I post a lot of Seahawks content, but at the same time, I like to delve into NBA, all things NFL. I'm trying to get into boxing and UFC, and hopefully later down the line, soccer and baseball. But for the time being, you can find me on there. And Noah kind of already hit on our podcast every single Saturday on his YouTube channel, DJ Squabo. look, we both just started doing this a couple of months ago, and so we're really just trying to, grind our way out. If you guys can show us some love, hit the subscribe button. Hopefully links will be in the description. But before you show us some love, show our gentleman over here some love. Although I hate the Dallas Cowboys, these are two of the coolest Dallas Cowboys fans you guys will ever meet. So show them some love. Follow them on Twitter.
I got a story. I got a story. Hold on, but I got a story real quick. Has he tried? Look, as Steezy tried to just lace that in there real quick. I hate the Cowboys and let that ride. Let me tell a story. It's story time with your guy Nix. So a few years ago, whatever the case may be, we were going and whatnot, and I remember the week beforehand, the Hawks and the 49ers had played or whatever, and then I remember watching Seahawks fans cheer 49er fans to beat the Cowboys, and I'm like, how does that work? So it just took me back to that as my guy Steve's here just said, I hate the Cowboys. And I'm like, y'all, boy, some of y'all outside of our own, like our division I get, outside of the division, y'all are kind of funny sometimes. But I feel that, though.
Hey, bro, that couldn't be us, though. That would not be us. We can't relate.
Hey, I'm just saying, those section of fans happen to be that way. That's just throwing it out there.
Hey, I enjoy watching you guys get your hopes up.
I mean, here, let's rewind. Let me walk that back. Now Squab want to jump in. Let me walk that back real quick. At the end of the day, there's only one. It's 32 teams. There's only one. Really, we're kind of all sick in this thing because there's only one team that can really be like, hey, look, we got the crown. And there ain't nothing but 31 losers. With that being said, I mean, 5. And now, look, now watch how this goes. Yeah, but y'all ain't did nothing in 25 years. You're right. Then I'll say, well, what's taking you so long? You should catch up. So we'll skip all of that. At the end of the day, tell the tape is 5 to y'all should have ran it on first and goal. And we'll leave it at that. But yeah, no, I'm with you. I mean, at the end of the day, we're sick. I mean, there's only one team that wins it every year. That's why Stephen A has the absolute, unequivocally foolproof plan. Accident waiting to happen. Because you can pivot from the Cowboys. Obviously, your check don't be the same. And I can pivot and say, oh, the Bucks or Seattle or the Niners, they're an accident waiting to happen because at the end of the day, there's only one team ever. And he can ride that tagline all the way to the Super Bowl. So if the Cowboys ever go to the Super Bowl and lose, guess what's going to happen on Monday? I told you they're an accident waiting to happen. Meanwhile, the entire season before that, obviously we were doing what we had to do to get to that point. So, I mean, just in between the lines. But good win to y'all today, guys. Great win for y'all today.
Yeah, man. And with that being said, guys, my hat's off to you. Good win.
Hey, Squabo, low key, my guy Stu is on the Facebook said, hey man, you need to talk about that NHL too since Seattle's getting a hockey team. #Kraken. That part.
Hey, those Seattle Kraken too. Now those colors, I'm sold completely on the colors of this team. 4 different shades of blue, I believe, and then the red alert eyes. It's beautiful. Yeah. I need to get some merchandise ASAP. So I'm with
that part. And little pivot before we get into the game. Bring back the Sonics. Period.
Oh, please.
Period.
Man, please,
bring back the Sonics. And Sid, I'm taking over. Go ahead, man. Let's go get into it. Let's get into it.
I like this. I like this, and I like the fans to see different things on my channel, different controversies. So, you know what? We'll jump into all that in a minute, but I want to talk about today's game because there were some key plays, and you guys know what I'm talking about. I think there was errors on both teams. Okay, so it's something. Squabo, I'm going to ask you first because I spoke to Steezy about this the other day. I said that a lot of people compare Dak to Russell Wilson. Nix, do you agree?
I think there's some likeness for sure. Yeah, okay. You came into the league early, heavy run. You started transitioning into throwing the ball a little bit more. Yeah. So we saw in one of the things that I talked about Dak last year was. I pinpointed Russell Wilson and Matt Ryan, the big jumps they made in their careers going into year 3 to year 4, right? And you saw that last year with Dak in his 4th year, he threw for 4,900 yards. Yep. So, yeah, I mean, definitely there's some similarities there. Obviously, not the same defense that, I mean, the Legion of Boom. I mean, come on. I mean, we haven't had that kind of defense down in Dallas, obviously. And we didn't have somebody before Zeke got. Well, I mean, Zeke's been here, let me be clear. But I mean, Marshawn Lynch and what was to be added to that gumbo pot, if you will, what they had going up there with Pete Carroll, as we were dealing with, the Clapper, Jason Garrett.
Yeah.
And that turned out great for them. And then as they've turned this team over to Russell Wilson. You see, I mean, it's amazing to me that Russell Wilson has not gotten one singular damn MVP vote any season so far. That's asinine, right? On the same token, we're seeing that coming into his own now. The few years that he's behind, obviously how long that Danger Russ, or hashtag, as he said on Twitter, Mr. Unlimited, or Instagram, Mr. Unlimited, and what he does, which, by the way, he set the record today. I think it's 14 touchdown passes through the first 3 weeks. NFL record, guys. That's what y'all's quarterback has done through 3. If you don't get an MVP vote this year, if he continues this, hell, I don't know what he can do. But I agree with you there, though, Sid. Definitely some similarities there between Dak and Mr. Russ. I think Dak needs to use his feet more like Russ, though, but that's a different conversation later.
Yeah, so with that being said, Squabo, this is where I want you to tune in. From what you saw today, do you see any similarities with Dak? Because, yes, you guys got the W, but Dak threw up better numbers today.
Oh, okay. Well, Dak did have a couple turnovers, and that was something that Russell Wilson didn't have. But what I would say, they are comparable in a lot of aspects. I think Dak Prescott is a guy who is a culminator of the team. Like he's a leader of men. He encourages his guys. He gives his guys a belief that they can be successful, at least with his mouthpiece. He's really good in press conferences. You don't hear about him missing practices except for that one time. And you don't hear about him, being a problem off the field. And I think that's a great thing under such a difficult spot, like being the quarterback for America's team. That's like being the point guard for the Lakers, the pitcher or the designated hitter for the Yankees. Like, there are certain positions in sports that are just difficult, and Dak is doing a tremendous job off the field. And so he deserves 1.5 million points for that. That's something that he has in common with Russell Wilson. Another thing he has in common, like I said, the guys on his team believe in him. What I don't think he has in common, I just don't think he has the special physical abilities that Russell Wilson has in terms of arm talent, hitting accurate passes, and the decision-making to not have those turnovers at crucial times of the ball game. Essentially, Russell Wilson raises his teammates to win games, and sometimes I feel like Dak drags the Cowboys at times. But off the field, I think they are much, much more comparable.
Okay. Okay. You had some key points there. I don't think that Dak is dragging the Dallas Cowboys down at all, especially not this year with the numbers that he's putting up. And Dak is coming into this year, and this is something that me and Nick have talked about on our previous streams. Dak is coming out with something to prove this year. He wants that contract. Will he get that contract at the way he's going? I think 100%. So with that being said, Steezy, congratulations on the W. The other day, we like I said, we went head to head a little bit, and I was confident that the Dallas Cowboys were going to come into this week after the W that we got last week with, I felt that gave us that extra push to believe in ourselves and to go out there and do what we needed to do. Now, you guys had a key touchdown taken away from you. Right? Diggs, listen, Stephon Diggs is, and Nick's, you're a big fan of Diggs, and you've talked about him a lot in our streams. Do you guys think that was just a slight rookie move? Do you think that it was cockiness? What do you think caused him to give up that play?
Ooh, Dak? I mean, DK?
Yeah.
I mean, for me, DK, he struggled with ball security. It's not just when it comes to his hands. As we saw last year, he had 7 drops. I think that the entire issue is just his ball security in general. I mean, it's not just, like I said, it's not just drops. He got a little carried away. He thought he had a touchdown. He's coming off a 4-catch, 92-yard game last week against the best cornerback in football, the reigning defensive player of the year. And he was kind of riding a little too high. Maybe he thought he was past Stephon Diggs. I mean, but we've seen we've seen mistakes like that in the past. I think last year against San Fran in Week 10, there was one where he was like right by the end zone, and I think he ended up fumbling it or something like that. And so we've seen those ball security issues in the past. It's not anything new. I'm not too worried about it because at the end of the day, he did make up for it. You know, he did have that fifth Russell Wilson passing touchdown, and if he hadn't done that, I mean, who knows? You know, if we would have won the game, he'd be getting crucified. But to answer your question, it wasn't a rookie mistake. I mean, he has issues with ball security, and so that's just something he needs to tighten up on, something he needs to work on. He's still young. He's only in the second year in the league, and so he'll definitely tighten up on it. But props to him for bouncing back, you know, coming back with that game-winning touchdown for us.
Yeah, 100%, man. Nix, I have a question for you. What do you think the Dallas could have improved on today? Besides, we got some stupid penalties. We and our secondary needs work. We'll admit that. Nick, what do you think that the Dallas have to do to improve going into Week 4 to clean up the errors that we're doing?
Well, I mean, look. At the end of the day, sometimes you do have to tip your cap a little bit to the other side, you know. And look, and we can kind of look. Obviously, I don't care what game is played. We can kind of nitpick and go through everything. But I mean, again, we know we're playing Russell Wilson. We're playing, in my opinion, and actually, I said this on the Stargame Cowboys report as we did the pregame for this game. I know a lot of people like Patrick Mahomes as number one for me, and I take it year-to-year basis. And I said, so far this season going into this game for me, you know, we're playing the number one quarterback in the league. That's how I felt. Patrick Mahomes is number 2 right now. You know, I mean, they went and played against Los Angeles Chargers, excuse me. So, you know, I mean, we know we're playing a top flight quarterback and what that entails and brings, especially whenever you lose Anthony Brown, you lose Cheeto. That's 2 cornerbacks off the rib that are off here. That's not an excuse, but you have to understand what you're doing. I think a lot of the things that I didn't like in this game was, I mean, Alden Smith's a monster. I said it week 1. People said I was crazy. After week 1 against the Rams, I said, man, extend Alden Smith now 5 years. And that's what he did. Extend him now. It'll be the cheapest you'll get him. He had 3.5 sacks today. And, I mean, we have a guy on our defense called D-Law that's got paid $100 million that's not doing a guy out of 5 years after 3 games and what he's doing, right? But, I mean, we knew Russ, you had to stay in your lanes. A couple of times he was able to run and get up out of that. We had some broken coverages. He takes his shots. We knew that was going to happen. I mean, TJ might have had all 3 of his touchdowns were busted coverages, low key. No disrespect to what he is and what he can do. So, I mean, we knew it was a tall task coming into this thing, and we had to see where we were at. You know, it's just, you know, you got to tip your cap. I don't want to be a whole bunch of excuses, and we can get to like talking about penalty because you can pinpoint and talk stuff. Obviously, the fumble by Pollard, not a good look. Then you got to look at your offensive coordinator that sits there and says, well, let's run Zeke. Not really from a bunch formation, kind of from shotgun and around the side, and he falls. We can argue back and forth about he wasn't touched and he got out, but, I mean, the points are on the board. You know, I think for the most part, the underlying thing is, I mean, special teams again. Special teams got us behind the 8 ball against Atlanta. Granted, the watermelon kick is everybody wants to talk about, kind of about like Steezy talked about DK. The fact that, you know, the ball got punched out, but he caught the ball and like all's forgiven, like it won't be talked about as much. So our special teams were really bad last week, bringing the ball out of the end zone, missing a kick here and there, going for it on punts and missing those and not getting those right. And this week we saw it again, missed extra point, blocked extra point, went for 2, didn't get it. You saw the fumble, and then you ended up carrying it on the one, which turned into a safety. So, again, special teams wasn't very special for us today across the board, and a lot of that in between kind of cost us because you never go for the 2 and lose it if you made the other 2 extra points, right? So, if I want to pinpoint anything, I'm going to look at special teams in the third phase of the game and didn't do enough for us. I mean, again, we can talk about decking the turnovers. The one thing I'd liked, we came out in the third quarter. He got hit, fumbled. They got the ball. We shifted the offensive line. All right, Zach, that's it. We're through with this. We're through with Steele over here. All right, Zach Martin, go play right tackle. Looney, you're kicking over to guard, and we're putting Tyler Badaz, a.k.a. the badass from Wisconsin, at center. And then magically, when we're down 30-15, you saw Dak get time again and get to cooking. And, you know, there's some things that were made there. But, you know, too little, too late, though.
Yeah, 100%, man. I like the adjustments that they made, like you said, in the third quarter. I think that was a big move, and I was like, okay, that's got a bit more time to throw the ball, and I think that's why we started to make that comeback that we did. Now, with that being said, and Steezy and Squabo, I'm gonna ask you guys both the same question, and Steezy, you gotta answer first. Were you shocked about how the Dallas Cowboys contained Russell? Because that's something that we knew we had to do going into this game. So we kind of contained him. He didn't run the ball as much as he usually does. Were you shocked? And he got sacked a few times. Were you guys shocked about the pressure that Dallas brought to him? And was it something that you guys started being worried about going in later on into the game? Go ahead, Steezy. Steezy's frozen. So, Squabo, I'll let you answer that first, man.
Yeah, no, the pass rush definitely, because your secondary heading into the game was not nearly as good as your front seven. Your front seven is definitely one of the strengths or the strength of your defense. So heading into the game, before some of the injuries to our offensive line, that was definitely a concern. Aldon Smith was ridiculous after 5 years away from football. That's incredible. I was watching him, and I was watching with some of my neighbors, and I was just saying, like, this is such an incredible story. 5 years away from football, comes back and does that. That is great to watch. I'm super happy for Aldon Smith as a person and for the Cowboys fans that support him. But what I will say is I do think a lot of it was bad Seahawks as to why some of those pressures got through. The reason being, we were holding the ball way too long. We had a couple of covered sacks in there. Yes, there were a couple of times where you guys just got right in the backfield and blew us up, but there were a couple of times where we had the ball 5, 6, 7 seconds and just holding it way too long. We got to get rid of those footballs. And it knocked us back on a couple of drives. It led to a couple of penalties on drives. And that was one of the biggest problems I saw from Seattle. So let Russ cook, but let him cook quickly and do quick reads and get rid of the football, get it out of his hands, because our offensive line is not top tier in the NFL. So I thought Russell Wilson held the ball a little bit too long a couple of times. I thought some of that could be because of the play call, but I also thought that Dallas, your pass rush, your front seven, definitely promising.
Yeah, and it kind of backed off a squab there, and I think that and I said this actually during the game on Twitter during the thread and stuff like that is, you know, they were getting off in the first half, and then you get the term get the easy touchdown per se because you had short field. But from that point forward until, you know, the last drive where you end up hitting Metcalf, which, my God, the ball floated forever. And, I mean, look, I've said this since week one. Darian Thompson is not an NFL safety. I'm sorry. It is what it is, Cowboys Nation. What worked in the first half was not working in the second half. The Cowboys, and again, something that we've looked for years underneath Garrett, we saw in-game. We talked about the offensive line with in-game adjustments. We saw defensive adjustments said, okay, y'all keep beating us in these plays over the top. Well, you're just not going to get that anymore. And somewhat Pete Carroll and them was like, oh, no, it's going to be there. We're just going to sit back. And I'm with Squab. And that kind of led to some of the pressure, some of the scrambles, some of the bad throws in the second half from Russ Wilson because they adjusted to it. Again, things that I didn't like. I'm going to pinpoint a couple of things back to where we can talk about the game within the game. You got into 4th and 3 in the last drive when they go down and score the touchdown to take the final lead. You can't play zone, Cowboys Nation. I'm sorry. I mean, you got a Greg Olsen. We know Lockie. We know you can't. It's 4th and 3. You cannot play zone. I literally talked about it in the group and I said, hey, right here, we haven't blitzed in a while. You have right here on 4th and 3. You have to sell out and go get Russ and force a bad throw or something. And unfortunately, they set back in zone. And guess what? Greg Olsen's like, oh, hey guys, hey, throw me the hot muffin here. I'll catch it, and it's fine. Yeah, go for it.
Oh, you want me to go vertical?
Hey, it's live, bro. Hey, it's live. You got to. Hey, man, it's live. We in this thing. Come on, keep it moving, Sid. They know what it is. 12th man, Cowboys Nation. Let's go. Oh no! I mean, I actually, you cut me right where I was ending it. That's right where I wanted to leave it. Let's Steezy jump in there on that as well. Go right ahead.
Yes, sir. So what was the question again? I mean, I wasn't worried in the slightest bit. As Noah pointed out, a few of those sacks were coverage sacks. I'm not really surprised because if there's one thing that Russell Wilson struggles with is definitely at times holding the ball for too long. You know, I think he's looking at the time that his offensive line is giving them, and at times he kind of he takes it for granted maybe because he doesn't get it very often. And so I do got to give credit to Alden Smith. You know, he did pile up a whole lot of sacks. You know, he's had a long journey back to the NFL, and all the credit in the world to him. But I think at least two of those sacks were coverage sacks, and those sacks were straight up on Russell Wilson. If there's anything I give credit to for those sacks, it is the secondary. You know, they did a good job on both of those sacks.
I mean, and especially the last one, because they tried to hit that home run again where they max protect and went with two wide receivers. Max protect shot over the top. They covered it. And Russ had to hold it, and then they came and got him. So again, and in case because you wasn't here, and I was talking after Squabo spoke and everything, the Cowboys kind of adjusted, you know, to what y'all were doing. Y'all kind of did the same stuff, and we kind of adjusted to it. And I think that's kind of the things. They went max protect a couple times, sending the two guys over the top. It was covered. So Russ, you know, I wouldn't blame Russ. Like, it's covered. I can't do nothing with it. They're only bringing four guys. I got to kind of wait and see if I can get up out of here and do something. And it turned into a couple of sacks.
Most definitely.
Sign him now. I don't know what they're waiting for. You got the money. Go extend him right now. The longer they wait, it's going to cost some more money. Jesus.
We'll take him if you don't want him.
I mean, low key though, y'all let Deion Jordan get up out of there. You saw what he did in San Francisco off the streets today, right? Sack, fumble, recovery, different things. But neither here nor there. Go right ahead, though, there, Sid.
Yeah, man. So definitely, I was speaking to my man Jay Tuck while the game was going on, and I said, "Man, Alden Smith is the next jersey I'm getting because what I've been seeing from him in the last couple of weeks, he looks amazing, man. And the pressure that he brought to Russell Wilson and the sacks that he brought, I was like, wow." We got to sign him. And you're right, Knicks. Let's sign him. Do you think there's still a chance for us to go after Earl?
No. I mean, apparently this coaching staff doesn't want him. I mean, everything behind the scenes at the end of the day says that the Joneses, Steve and Jerry will be down to do it. But something with McCarthy and that coaching staff doesn't want to deal with it. So, you know, I mean, obviously – they missed over the top a little bit, but in the second half, they were able to kind of corral that. So I'm going to go with no. I'm still with, as my co-host, Mary Ella says, 0.0% chance. You know, I know Cowboys Nation has been beating the table for Earl because of what happened when he was in Seattle, came down here, got the big deal up there and everything. For me, and I've consistently said, you know, I've consistently said this. I don't need it to be Earl. I just need a capable safety. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's Eric Reed. I don't care if it's Jefferson. Look, Rashad Jones, a little long in the tooth, right? I mean, but they had to bring somebody into this mix because even today they're not playing Brandon Carr enough because he played some safety for Baltimore last year. You know, for whatever reason, Donovan Wilson, the former draft pick that we 2 years ago that we got from Texas A&M, shines in camp and whatever, but they don't trust him enough to come through and play. So they need to add something there.
I don't trust Wilson after what I've seen from him in the last couple of games. I'm sorry.
But you haven't seen Wilson in the game though.
Yeah, no, exactly.
I mean that's the point. You haven't seen. I mean, let me see something. I mean, he can't be no worse than Darius Thompson at this point.
Yeah, exactly. So
what's HaHa doing? I know we cut HaHa. What's HaHa doing? You bring it back. I don't know.
I know you're upset about that. So guys, I'm gonna ask you guys a question in a second, but I'm gonna say something that's probably gonna surprise Knicks right now. You know what? Seeing what Jamal Adams has done, I would have liked him to be with the Dallas Cowboys.
Get hurt and be on the sideline coaching?
Oh, right now, only today.
I mean, get roasted by Julian Edelman for over 100 yards. That's two first and third and a starter. Look, I like Jamal. Look, I like Jamal. What? I think Jamal is a playmaker. I think Jamal is a playmaker within the box. Look. They've asked him to do some coverage things in the first 3 weeks, and he hasn't done very well. Look, Proof is in the pudding. Don't like what I say. Stats don't lie. Great within the box. And y'all see how Zeke blocked him up in the first half when he came off the edge. It was just one-on-one, and Zeke just smashed him. Look, I love Jamal. Jamal's a playmaker within the box. No ifs, ands, or buts. But I mean, in coverage, he's been exposed in coverage. The Cowboys have a coverage problem. 2 first, a third, and a starting safety. I'm not sure how that helps the Cowboys right now.
You know, I did say he was a box safety. Remember me saying that?
Indeed.
Yes.
So,
So,
hold on.
Best safety.
go
Man,
ahead. I saw both you guys kind of getting hyped just now while he was talking. So I want you guys to comment on that. What do you guys think about Jamal Adams? And is Nick's right? Because I believe he is right.
Okay, look. All right, so we're talking about a slot receiver in Julian Edelman. What safety can you name can guard a slot receiver like Julian Edelman? There's none. No safeties. You don't ask safeties to cover slot receivers. Those guys are simply too quick, too fast, too small to be covered by a safety. Jamal Adams, okay, I gotta admit, he's not the best coverage safety in football, but when he's good at his coverage time, he's a big body.
Wait, stop. You said it all right there. We can end the discussion. He's not the best coverage safety in football. That's my point. Thank you for agreeing, but continue on.
But you just don't see safeties covering slot receivers.
Again, in coverage,
he's our best pass rusher. But look,
agreed.
in coverage,
Box.
But you don't take that into account though.
Hold up. We lost everyone again, and everybody shifted because we lost. Oh, there we go. So now I gotta, guys, try not to have your Zoom crash, because when your Zoom crashes, it shifts everyone over. So now I gotta put you back here, and I gotta move my. So Nix, go ahead, man. Sorry, continue bringing up your.
Oh no. My guy Steezy made my point. He's not the best coverage safety. That's fine. I mean, that's my point. He's a box guy. He's tremendous. Hey, look, I'm not taking nothing away from Jamal Adams. I would love to have Jamal Adams on this team. I'm not saying that I wouldn't. It would be asinine to sit here and say that you would not take a Jamal Adams on your team. But at the end of the day, in what hurts my particular team, like, he doesn't fix what's going on here right now. And as we talked about, well, Julian Edelman getting mashed up or whatever, you notice today, they'll be clear now, after what happened with Julian Edelman last week, you notice today, boy, they didn't dare stick him on CD Lamb at all. And then you pivoted off of, well, hey, look, slot receiver, this, that, and the third. Hey, Raiders did a good job with Julian Edelman, by the way. Go dial up the stats. It is what it is. But, again, it's so disrespect to Jamal. 2 first, a third, and safety, a starting safety in the league was just a little too much for my taste. We'll see if y'all get him. I think y'all are going to extend him, absolutely. And we'll see how that plays. That's a completely different conversation, how it plays into your salary cap. Will Pete Carroll still be there? Who's coming next? I'm not trying to get into all that. But again, low key, he wasn't there in the second half, and y'all didn't need him. Y'all got the job done anyways. So with the turnover and with the interception, interception at the end of the game was Dak should have got sacked. Any other mere mortal, Kirk Cousins of the world, would have got sacked if you watched the end of the Tennessee game and what happened to him. And he just said, hey, look, man, I almost got sacked 6 seconds. We have a timeout. I'm just going to throw it in the end zone and see what happens. And y'all came up with the ball. But, yeah, no disrespect to Jamal Adams. But, just understand what the player is and what his limitations are and put it in the best way. And you're right, absolutely, Steezy. Him blitzing and coming and making those kind of plays, he's next level. He's a different kind of guy in those positions and what he can do.
So with that being said, and I'm going to ask all three of you guys this question, and then I'm going to ask about the Dallas Cowboys as well. And I want you guys to not be, I guess you guys are Seattle fans, but I want you guys to chime in a little bit, even if you don't follow us 100%. Do you think that Seattle can keep this going? Now, you guys have a lot of key injuries right now. Do you think that Seattle could keep this momentum going, or do you think going into next week's game, if you guys have all these key injuries the way you do, that is going to start, you guys are going to start taking some L's?
We got a deep team, and last year we got stuck with the injury bug at a rate that it's almost unparalleled, like just ridiculous, losing so many linemen, running backs, and tight ends, and we still had a shot in a playoff game at Green Bay. This year, we've changed up our system. Russell Wilson is the ultimate equalizer in the NFL right now. Whatever your offense needs, he can pretty much make up for it at a moment's notice. And that's the great thing. That's why when earlier we were talking about the difference between Russell Wilson and Dak Prescott's playing, the casts are comparable, but Dak Prescott's cast offensively, I would say, is better than Russell Wilson's cast offensively. The players around him are better than Russell Wilson's, but Russell Wilson got it done. Dak Prescott was watermelon kick away from 0-3 right now, whereas Russell Wilson is 3-0. And so I think Russell Wilson is the ultimate equalizer in sports. And
raising my hand. So
let's do what Nick's gonna say.
Real quick. So Russell Wilson stopped Cam Newton for the 1 yard line last weekend because y'all was 1 yard away Cam Newton touchdown from being 2-1 right now, right?
And we've been ahead pretty much this entire
but is that he says he's a great equalizer? He Loki had the walk off today. Cam Newton 1 yard
touchdowns.
Yeah, I brought it up. I know the NFL record. I told you that already. But again, Cam Newton 1 yard away, then boom, you're 2-1. So I mean, the if game is funny to me how you do that. Russ is great, and to me, and as I said, going forward off of Sid's question, absolutely continue to do this because it's Russ. But Russ isn't down to his fourth and fifth offensive tackle. Be clear, because everyone who looks at the Cowboys says, well, the Cowboys have a great offensive line. We don't, though. But be honest, we don't. Now, I've said this for a couple of years now. We're not the offensive line of 2016 that everybody thinks we are. We're to our fourth and fifth offensive tackle. By the way, in the middle of the game today, we took a guard and shifted him out to tackle because it wasn't working against y'all. I mean, name your starting 4 defensive linemen for me real quick.
Our starting 4 defensive
linemen.
LJ Collier, Benson Mayowa, Poona Ford, and Jerron Reed.
Boy, not a whole bunch of go-getters there to go get the quarterback. But however, they were getting the deck before they made the switch, though. I mean, that's kind of being honest, right? You had an all-pro guy at center that's gone down. You got Looney as a backup. So, low-key, we're on our backup center who got hurt in the game. And then we had to come with a rookie 4th-round pick to start over here or come in and play. And then we had to shift him in the game later because it was so bad. Okay, get him over here. So, I mean, great equalizer. Absolutely. Russell Wilson's a great quarterback. I'm not taking him away. DK Metcalf is an amazing player. I don't know how y'all got him in the 2nd round. Congrats to y'all. It blew my mind when he didn't go in the 1st round. Y'all have a player in Lockett as well. Hey, look, Carson is a stud in my opinion. He can go down. We've watched Carlos Hyde in this league rush for 1,000 yards. Carlos Hyde is not a guy that's a chump. So Greg Olsen, who's probably going to go to the Hall of Fame. Let's ease up on the Mr. Russell Wilson doesn't have people around him token this season.
Amari Cooper is $100 million wide receiver.
Oh, don't talk about money. Talk about on the field now. Because Demarcus Lawrence is $100 million.
He's not on the field when it matters.
Demarcus Lawrence is $100 million defensive guy, but he's not a $100 million guy in my opinion.
What about Zeke? Zeke, man,
Loki, be clear. Y'all did a great job against Zeke today. Yeah, absolutely, unequivocally. 100%. Did a great job against Zeke today. But again, 4th and 5th offensive tackles, you're basically your 3rd center, and things happen. I mean, those things matter. Like, y'all think Carson, let me ask y'all this. Let's pivot off the Cowboys. Y'all won today. Do y'all think Carson Wentz just fell completely off the wagon and is terrible now? Let me ask y'all that, Seattle fans. Yeah, Carson Wentz. Y'all think he's regressed? He's just terrible? Like, oh my God, he was an MVP damn near 2 years ago. Now he's terrible.
Y'all think I think he has regressed.
His offensive line.
Oh, go, Steezy. Come on, Steezy. Walk through that door now. Go ahead. You said it. Don't stop now. Walk through the door.
Okay. All right, look. Our line works. Jason Peters is as old as my dad. And what's it called?
I was going to say, low-key, I'm barely older than Jason Peters at 42. That's crazy.
Yeah, so with that being said,
hey, I wasn't trying to take no shots for that.
Oh no, you good? No, I'm with you. Jason Peters is old as hell. I agree with you completely.
So with that being said, you brought up
and Brandon Brooks.
Yeah, you brought up the Eagles. So and a lot of people are probably wondering why I have Dallas and the Eagles on my background. And the reason why I did that today is because these are the only two teams that matter right now in our division. So.
Washington?
I mean, I don't think you can say that. I mean, Washington took a bad L today with 5 turnovers. But, I mean, at the end of the day, and they went to Cleveland, 5 turnovers. I mean, they were leading at one point, but 5 turnovers kind of done them in. The Giants are done. They're cooked. But, I mean, that front of the football team, make sure I do that right, is real. I mean, I hate to see that Chase Young got a groin injury and left in the second quarter and didn't come back the rest of the game. You know, hopefully for them. I hate injuries, period. I don't care what team it is. But that front 7 is really good. Can Haskins walk through that door? And we have to look at it like this. If Haskins has another game where he throws 3 interceptions and fumbles the ball, Alex Smith can quarterback this team the right way. I do believe that. He's built to do it the right way because they'll manage it and lean on the defense. The one thing that I think that team messed up is we've seen Adrian Peterson look pretty good up there in Detroit. He's not the bell cow. I get that. They should have kept Peterson and leaned on him some when it comes to the Washington team. But if Alex Smith gets into the starting role for that team, this will be a 3-team race because it is literally right now, it's 0-2-1 and 2 teams that are 1-2. It's the NFC least. Let's call a spade here, guys.
Hey, but Nix, hold up. And my bad, Sid, real quick, though. Mm-hmm. So, Nix, you was talking about how Dak Prescott, he's playing with this offensive line that's in shambles, right? Mm-hmm. Well, hasn't Russell Wilson been doing that his entire career? Russell Wilson's been a top 3, top 5 quarterback in football with an offensive line that's at or near the bottom of the league. Mm-hmm. This year, it's not any different. Mm-hmm. Offensive line is still just as bad. If anything, I might even take the Cowboys line because despite how bad you guys' line looked or has looked, you guys have an all-pro right guard. The best guard in football is Zach Martin. We haven't had anybody resembling near an all-pro at any of our positions ever since we traded Unger and let Russell Okung go as a free agent.
Yep, fair enough. Let me know whenever Dak had the Legion of Boom, and we'll call it even. I'll trade you Zach Martin for the Legion of Boom. Fair?
What about a pass rush? Can we
No. Look, I'm just asking you. No. Squab, don't move the goalpost on me now. He said what he wanted. I'll ask y'all what I want. I'll give y'all Martin. Y'all bring back and give me the in prime Legion of Boom. We'll call it even. See, there's a lot of things there. Go ahead, Steve.
My man. But hold up, bro. I was saying Russell Wilson was a top 5 quarterback with a terrible offensive line without the Legion of Boom. I'm talking about 2016, 2017, 2018, top 3, top 5 quarterback with the horrible offensive line. And he's still doing it. And we didn't have the Legion of Boom those years. We didn't have Beast Mode those years. Did we not?
Well, you might need to dial that 2016 defense again, sir, and come back and talk to me, my man. Might need to go dial that up and look at that roster again and come back and talk to me, my guy. Just saying. Because,
Okay. We had members of the Legion
because
of Boom.
Because, I mean, hold on, Sid. Because you know what happened in 2017, right? That's when the injuries, right? That's when Cam lost. That's when the Cam stuff happened. Right. Then 2018 happened.
Sherm. We were supposed to be rebuilding that entire time, and we never had a losing season, or even an 8-8 season, which you guys would know all about. So we haven't even.
Is that a
we haven't even had an 8-8 record, and you guys are like every other year.
I mean, y'all went to the playoffs. Y'all went to the playoffs at 7-9, and hosted a playoff game. Calm down over there, real quick,
and won it.
Sure, you're right.
We won.
Sure, but hold on. But let's rewind though.
How many times you got?
Again, hold on. I'll trade you Jason Garrett for Pete Carroll. Let's see what happens.
Pete Carroll never had a winning season before Russell Wilson. It's Wilson.
Again. I'll trade you Pete Carroll for Jason Garrett, and we'll see what happens.
Who's been fired more from their head coaching positions?
I mean, let's be clear. I mean, so you think Pete Carroll's trash? You won a national championship, he's trash? That's what you think?
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying Pete Carroll's been fired for multiple jobs.
Can you name the starting quarterback for New England when he was the head coach and took him to the playoffs?
I said that Pete
I'm asking you now.
I said that Pete Carroll would be on the hot seat if we didn't this season use Russell Wilson the way that we have been using him. But we have finally adapted our offense this year to show why Russell Wilson is so much better than the rest.
And again, I haven't disagreed. I told you Russell Wilson's my number 1 quarterback going before this game. I said he was my number 1 quarterback. You're fighting you're fighting a losing argument here. We're talking about Pete Carroll. at the end of the day, Pete Carroll and the Hoodie's been fired exactly one time each. In the NFL. In the NFL, now is head coach.
Jets, Patriots.
Who?
Pete Carroll.
Pete Carroll. When did Pete Carroll coach the Jets head coach?
We're talking about
Help
head
me out.
coach,
Help me out as a head coach.
I can look up the years.
No, Google it. Google it. No. Yeah, Google it. Google when Pete Carroll was the head coach. I'll bet you $20 Pete Carroll was never the head coach of the New York Jets. I bet you $20 right now.
We're talking head coach.
I'm already.
But let me save you, hey Nick, my man. Let me save you $20 right now. Let me save you $20 right now. He definitely coached the Jets. Before the Patriots, he coached the Jets, or at least he was
it's
he was a coordinator.
1994.
I said head coach.
Head coach.
1994 New York Jets head coach.
Intern or head coach? Not like oh, my head coach got fired. I got the thing. If you got it, I'll send you $20. Cash out.
Hold on, right here.
I'm with you. Defense corner. Oh God, wait, I can't see that. Inbox.
Right
Inbox me. I got you. I can't, bro. Like literally, I can't see it. Bro, I can't see it. Just inbox me.
Okay,
And
so wait, guys, hold up a second. I just want to jump in the chat. I see. You know what? I feel like a referee on my show today. I'm not even talking, man. And I love it. I love the controversy.
Yeah. Is it Russell Wilson or Pete Carroll? Russell Wilson overall. Pete Carroll can leave. Somebody come in. Russell Wilson keeps the shit moving.
Wilson. If Wilson had Andy Reid, Russell Wilson would have multiple Super Bowl championships right now.
All right, guys, hold up. Time out.
If they would have handed the ball off to Marshawn Lynch, they would have had multiple Super Bowls right
exactly.
now. But
So hold up, guys. Time out. I just want to jump in the chat. Huge shout out to Pat 1984, man. I know it's been a minute, Pat, man. Always in the chat. Brandon, what's up? Dak should have gone down on the last play.
We had no timeouts. The game would have been over.
We had no timeouts. It wouldn't have made a difference. So, Brandon, thanks for that. So,
I mean, he could have threw it away with like 5 seconds left and said, "Okay, well, here's a Hail Mary." I mean, he took a shot. Whether he took a shot on that play or took a shot on the next play, I mean, whatever. I mean, it is what it is.
The INT happened. You know what? I think this is the second INT he throws this year.
Yeah, threw 2 today.
2 today.
Yeah,
So,
he didn't have one all year. Threw 2 today.
Yeah.
Last was whatever. And he had 3 turnovers. Hey, hard to win games. Like last week, we turned the ball over 4 times.
Yeah.
Well, 3 times. We lose 3 of the fumbles, and then we went for it on 4th down 2 times and didn't get it with the fake punts. Then they're 5, and we never really got a turnover on our end. It's hard to win those games. And today, forget just the safety. I mean, they still got 3 turnovers on us, and we didn't get none on defense. I mean, it's hard to win in this league when you lose a turnover battle. I don't care who you are. I mean, you can go down the list. If you look who wins the turnover battle, the percentages are very much higher for the team that wins that and goes through it. And especially, look, maybe you lose a turnover battle to Matt Ryan. I'm not dissing Matt Ryan. I mean, they lost another game. They were up 16 in the 4th quarter. Nick Foles off the bench and beat them in Atlanta. I'm not saying nothing about them. 28-3 in the Super Bowl. I'm not saying nothing about them. What I'm saying is, you're down 15. You're losing the turnover battle to Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll.
yeah, exactly.
It's bruh. I mean, there's only so much you can do.
Yeah, exactly. So with that being said, Knicks, and I'm going to ask you guys all the same question. What do you guys think the Dallas Cowboys have to do moving forward to start winning those games, those critical games? So
make your extra points.
Yeah.
That might help.
Next, I'm going to save you for last on this one. I'll have you answer this last. Steezy, what do you think the Dallas Cowboys have to do to be more successful, I guess I should say, going into next games and so on?
Man, I mean, obviously you guys' offense can ball out with the rest of them. You guys have a top 5 offense, so I'm not really worried about that. And even despite you guys' offensive line struggles, I'm going to go over to the defensive side of football. I think you guys need to shore up that secondary. I mean, Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks, yes, we also have a top 5 offense, but if you guys are going to win the Super Bowl, I mean, you guys have to go up against the likes of the Kansas City Chiefs, Tyreek Hill, Sammy Watkins, Travis Kelce. What are all those guys going to do against, the likes of them? What about going up against the Baltimore Ravens? Who's going to contain Lamar Jackson, Hollywood Brown, Mark Andrews? There are a lot of teams out there with a whole lot more firepower than the Seattle Seahawks. And so if the Dallas Cowboys are to take that next step and hopefully become a Super Bowl contender, I mean, I think they got to patch up the secondary. Even if you guys get those guys back, what was his name? Chidobe or what was he? Even if he's to come back, I mean, I still have I still have concerns over that secondary, even if it's not Earl Thomas. Like Nick said at the beginning of the show, I mean, there's still guys out on the street. Rashad Jones, he could definitely help patch up some holes. There's some guys out there, I feel like, but definitely patching up the secondary. You guys have somewhat of a pass rush there with Alden Smith. Hopefully, DeMarcus Lawrence can start playing like the $100 million defensive player that he is. You guys do have some injuries as well. Sean Lee, Leighton Vander Esch. Vander Esch is arguably one of the best linebackers in football, so I don't know how long he's going to be out. But until then, I like to see you guys' secondary be patched up before you guys take the next step forward in terms of joining like the Seahawks and like the Saints and the Niners as actual Super Bowl contenders in the NFC side of things.
Yeah, man, I have to agree with you a lot of points, and I'm gonna say my points as well. Squabo, what do you think that the Dallas Cowboys have to do to be more successful, man?
You know, I look at the Dallas Cowboys, and you drew those connections between Dak and Russell Wilson. I feel like Dak is like a great value version of Russell Wilson, and you guys have a certain style of football that you want to play.
Squab loves those back-ended comments, but go ahead, Squab.
You guys have a lot of potential, and I'm so serious about this. Coming into the season, I thought this really could be the year where you guys not only make the NFC Championship game, but potentially make the Super Bowl. I've been wrong about you guys throughout the first 3 weeks because of how you performed, but I thought you guys were going to be really good. I've been disappointed in Mike McCarthy. I really think the difference between you guys and us, other than Russell Wilson, is that we've been starting out games ahead and you guys have been starting out behind. You guys want to run the football just like we do, but you can't do it when you're trailing the entire game. Zeke had 34 rush yards in the game against Seattle because you guys were trailing the entire time. I put as one of my keys heading into this game for Seattle to beat you guys. We have to stop Zeke, and that's exactly what happened. We got out to the lead, and this is the first year that we've really started doing that, getting out to the lead, and we're 3-0. In the past, we've gotten out to rough starts, not only in games, but in our seasons, starting years 0-2, 1-1, 1-3, stuff like that, whereas now we're getting out to the lead. So I think you guys need to do a better job of scripting your plays heading into games so that you can get the lead and lean on the run and use Dak when you need him.
Yeah, man. Okay, Knicks.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, Zeke had 14 carries for 34 yards, which averaged 2.4. And then they try to throw, I don't know, excuse my language, sorry. I don't know, like fucking 5-6 screens that never worked, and you just kept trying to throw damn screens. And I'm like, what are we talking about? Why are we continuously trying to throw these screens? Again, I think, you got to tip your cap at certain points. The Seattle Seahawks neutralized Zeke today. Be clear. They said, hey, if you're going to beat us, Dak has to beat us. And unfortunately, at times, especially in the first half, our coaching staff said, no, we're still going to do little things. Like they made too much of a conscious effort to get Zeke involved. Like we can't run the ball well, but we're going to keep throwing these screens to him, even into the second half. We'll keep throwing these screens to him to try to get him going. No, Dak was cooking. Let Dak cook. Let him go and do what he does. Even with that being said, you still ended up 38-31. So, and again, I started at the top of the show and said, man, I'm not really discouraged by this. We had a different coaching staff across the board for the most part, outside of Kellen Moore. And we didn't have the regular offseason and preseason to get through this thing to get it right. So we're basically playing our third preseason game. I get it. Certain teams that are in place, and when you have that guy and different things, it's going to be better. But again, I think, and I said, and Sid, you know this, I've said it before we ever played week one, that this defense will be better in the second half of the season than it will be in the first half of the season. They have to learn a new scheme. Things are happening. Offensively, we have to do more. Again, when you only give up 20 points in game one, the offense has to find a way to win. Aaron Donald's a $100 million guy. D-Law, take notice. And if you go look, even though the Rams were down 23 and haven't ran all the way back, go look at what Aaron Donald did against that team as well in the second half. He was a man amongst boys, even though they ended up at the very end losing the game. So it's just one of those things of they're finding it. What I take solace in is I watched, look, as we know beforehand when it came to Garrett, we wouldn't have seen the offensive line shift in game. Once we saw the offensive line shift when we were down 15, we saw, Dak's got time. He can get the ball out. We saw they were beating us over the top as Steezy and Squab said about, well, he was holding on to the ball. We took some coverage section. Yeah, they changed shit up. They're like, okay, bet. We're rushing forward. We're dropping it back. You're not getting over the top anymore. So they did things in game. So we're seeing in-game things happening with this coaching staff. We got to get healthy. Again, and one of the things that's never really talked about the Seattle Seahawks and for the life of me, and I call it the East Coast bias, because Seattle's way up in the upper northwest, and they don't get, they're not in LA. They don't get this love over here. One of the best linebackers, bar none of it might be almost a decade now. Got to be pretty close, right? How long has he been? Wagner, 8 years, 2012. Right? Yeah. I mean, Wagner is bro, like if he played in Chicago or he played in San Francisco or he played, and even in a New Orleans or the New York market and stuff, Wagner, Luke Kuechly got all the pub or whatever here for a while. Wagner for 8 years consistently has been, if not the best, bro, you can't put him out of the top 5 of middle linebackers for 8 years, and he's calling that defense, and it matters. It matters. Like LVU was calling the defense for us this year. Now we're back to Jalen Smith. We all know Jalen Smith is not a middle linebacker in this league, and it hurts. And never mind that KJ Watt's great as well, but he's not Wagner. I mean, my goodness, having Wagner on that defense is everything for Seattle. And low-key, we just don't have that on our team defensively. We don't have that. We got some guys on the front line, sure, that we think D-Law had made some good plays today against the run. The rush still not quite where it needs to be at. We talked about Alden Smith and what he's doing, for sure. But once you get past that defensive line for us, who? You're not talking about Jalen Smith, right? Jalen Smith got cooked on a third down with pre-motion. The only problem was, for one of the few times, Russell Wilson threw it at Lockett's feet and didn't catch it in the third quarter for a first down. But he was cooked. Like Lockett would have caught it and got another 10 yards after the first down. Wagner's not going to let guys be out of position, and that was kind of the difference. And we didn't take enough. To me, the Cowboys didn't do enough shots over the top, but that's, again, the offensive line given. We were like, okay, we can't block it up enough to take as many shots as we want to. So I'm encouraged. I think health, and I said this before the season, across the league, man, the war of attrition is real, and especially with our preseason. This is why preseason and OTAs and stuff like this matters. I absolutely believe the team that can survive and be the healthiest along the way might be the team that you see at the very end of this thing hoist the damn Lombardi this year.
Yeah, man, I agree. I think, and I know, Squabo, you got to go soon because I know you have a meeting. But I just wanted to put it out there. I think the secondary definitely needs work with the Dallas Cowboys. D-Law, where's D-Law? You said he had some.
He's great against the run. The run.
He had some key plays today. Alden Smith is stepping up. Our offensive line obviously is banged up as well. We made a few adjustments today that gave Dak a bit more time to throw the ball. Seattle's always great against Zeke, so we knew that. I knew that going into it. But as you said, Nix, when you see something's not working, go away from it and start airing out the ball. We had a lot of weapons that we could have went through today. So I think we have a lot of work to do. I think we need to get healthy. We need our secondaries to come back and get healthier. So with that being said, guys, thanks for definitely being on the channel. Steezy, please let the fans know again where to find you. And before you guys announce it, man, I want to send a shout out to a troller in the chat, Philly Notion himself, an Eagles fan. We were calling each other. I called him during his game on FaceTime. He called me the minute we lost. So huge shout out to him. He said, yes, sir. Take that hot L, my guy. Defense looking extra garbage. Yes, sir. Only in the team in the division not to lose. Eagles fly, Eagles fly. So, shout out to this guy, man. Go check him out, guys. He's a great guy as well. Go check out his channel. Philly Notion bringing big things. Steezy, let the fans know where to find you, man.
Yes, sir. Real quick before I get into that, though, I want to give a shout out to our big bro, Noah Ken. He's doing his own collab with another Dallas Cowboys fan, but we're both coded Jays. What was that?
He's doing a shout out with our partner Jay Tuck, guy that me and Nick's work out a lot with, do a lot of streams with. Who shout out to Jay Tuck, man? He's doing big things. We'll definitely do a collab with him and hopefully get you guys in as well.
Yes, sir. So, we'll definitely try to get in order to take a look at this. But shout out to Big Bro right there. I mean, we can't thank him enough, really. But I like to look at us as a little proteges of his. So, hope we're making you proud, big brother. But excuse me. Be sure to subscribe to my brother, my partner in crime here, Noah Bolter at DJ Squabo. We have a little sports podcast every single Saturday on his channel. We used to be on the radio, but recently, I think it's been about a month now that we've been on his YouTube channel. So every single Saturday I think we changed the time, right, from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Be sure to tune in. We got a whole lot to talk about this coming Saturday. I can't wait. But if y'all want to find me, show me some love, find me at Steezy A. Smith on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. I try to post content on a weekly basis, at least one video a week. I'm trying to get it to 2 videos a week. But not only do I post Seahawks content, also NBA stuff, NFL stuff, boxing, football, now boxing, UFC, all that. So be sure to show us all some love. Hit the subscribe button, leave a like, and share this video. Tell a friend, tell a friend.
Yeah, man. Thanks a lot for that, man. Squabo, let the fans know where to find you, man.
Hey, man, real quick, shout out Sid for having me on the show. Shout out Knicks, man. You guys are both extremely intelligent Cowboys fans. Pleasure to meet you guys. I don't think this could have gone any better. Like, you guys are really awesome. Definitely know what you're talking about. And it's been fun going back and forth with you guys. Shout out Steezy, man, for introducing me to you guys. I'm super glad to have met you guys, and hopefully we can get some more stuff going. I'd love to have you both on my channel at some point. Just want to put that out there. But you can find me at DJ Squabo on YouTube. I post 2 videos per week. One of them typically is my live stream show. The other one I post typically on Wednesday or Thursday. Primarily NFL Seahawks content. I'm going to be doing some Pac-12 stuff. I'm the sports director for the TV station.
Pac-12. Oh, yeah. I got me a Pac-12 link now. That's what's up, Squab. I'm going to be hitting you about some Pac-12 stuff. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yes, sir. No, yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I'm going to be covering the Cougars this upcoming season. So super excited about that. But that's a lot of stuff that you can look forward to on my channel at DJ Squabo. And it's the same handle on Instagram.
Yeah.
Well, real quick, though. I do gotta say thank you. I forgot to thank y'all, but thank you for having us on the show. It's a pleasure, and nice to meet you, Knicks. For real, like I said, you guys are the coolest Cowboys fans I think I'll ever meet in my entire life, and so
it might be. Season, you might be right. I ain't gonna lie to you. A lot of Cowboys Nation sucks. I understand.
Yeah, man.
Hey, but much love though, for real. This was a fun experience. Hopefully, it's not the last time. But yeah, man, for real.
Definitely. Yeah, we want to thank you guys for coming on too, man. You know what? I know you said that you guys have a lot of knowledge. Yo, I learned a lot from Knicks, man, and I didn't get much in today, but I like to see the controversy go back. That's why I love having different people on my show, man, because it brings extra content, and people love to see that going back and forth. And I just sat back, man. I enjoyed it, man. Knicks was picking you guys apart, man. It's all good, but you guys had some comebacks as well, so that's always great to have on the show. Knicks, man, I love you, and I want to tell you,
my guy,
I appreciate
my guy.
You, always supporting what I do, and I appreciate you for that, man. And I'm definitely gonna be on your show soon, man. So Knicks, let the fans know where to find you. Let them all know about Star Gang, man. Star Gang is a big show. Definitely.
You already know, man. Hey, Stargate in the building. Me, Mary Ella, Spoonie. It's what we do. We have the Cowboys Report every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. Catch us live. We're gonna go ahead and break down what happened last week. We're gonna give the look ahead to who we're playing. The Browns at 1. Hey, there's some problems. I know Cowboys. They say, well, it's the Browns. It's going to be okay. No. They got not 1 but 2 big boy running backs. Could be a problem for us. We're going to break that down come Tuesday. As always, as you see on the screen, at _guy_Knicks. Come follow me on Twitter. Star Gang is the group. Star Gang is the page. Like and follow the page. Come join the group. We'll get you in there too. Man, Sid, as always, my brother from up north. I appreciate you having me on. I like pushing these young bucks, this Steezy and Squab over here. But I had to push them buttons a little bit, see where they're at. I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all bounce back and different things like that. Man, salute to you on a great win today. I hope everything goes forward. Maybe we'll see how the playoffs. I know last time we met in the playoffs, I saw Dak kind of beat that guy. The great value Dak beat, the great value Russ, I think, beat the other Real Russ. I don't know. But maybe we'll see something in the future. We got a long ways to go. But absolutely, man, if y'all ever need anything from me, my inbox is always open, man. Hit me up. I'd be more than happy to help y'all jump on, do some things. Y'all are fantastic, man. Appreciate y'all. Sid, you already know, brother, 24/7. You just hit me. I'm here.
100%. I want to thank everyone for tuning in, man. From my YouTube channel, Dallas Cowboys, the number 4 life. My Twitter is Sid DC for life.
Yeah, sub to my guy Sid, man. Yeah, man. Get him up.
You guys definitely, if you're not on Twitter, Twitter's where it's at, man. You young cats, I don't know why it is that you're not on Twitter, man, because
you gotta do it for the gram, man. Yeah. You gotta do it for the gram. I already understand, man. It's beyond, man. My daughter's 22, man. I'm a fossil. It is what it is. I'm gonna catch y'all. Hey, y'all inbox me on Instagram. You know what? Y'all have inspired me, Steezy. Y'all beat us today. Y'all have inspired me to do more on the gram, Steezy and Squab. I'm gonna come message y'all over on the gram for sure. I'm out though, Sid. I mean, I appreciate you hosting me as always. I got over to start game. My boy Spoonie's blowing me up. You already know how Spoonie is.
Yeah, man, definitely.
You already know. So
again, thanks for being on the show. It's your boy Sid, and I'm out.
Go Cowboys.